All right, so I'm actually a car YouTuber, so I can care less if you subscribe. But what I want to do is save you a lot of time that I spent trying to watch YouTube videos, what other people were doing. And what they tell you is set up a board, attach a level to it, and drag it around in circles till it levels everything. That is not how it works. That is so back-asswards. It drove me crazy, so I had to figure out my own way. There's many ways you can accomplish what I did. I just did what was easiest for me once I realized what was actually happening. So any board you use, it's not strong enough to scrape the ground. Ground is hard, okay? So all you're gonna do is use the board to check the level and or top off the leveling itself. You can't just throw a bunch of stuff down, spin a board, and all of a sudden it's level. That is not how it works. So I'll zoom in and I'll show you what I rigged up and what I ended up doing, and it should save you lots of time. Now, it does take time. You're not gonna get it done fast, but you will get it done faster than if you listen to every other YouTube video. I must have watched 15 of them, and they all show you what they do, but I don't believe they tell you the truth as to what actually levels the ground. You just watch a video and they're like, oh, well, I'll just put the video out there. Oh my God, that kills me when you have misinformation. So it's the only reason I'm putting a level video out when I do a car YouTube channel. So let me show you what I rigged up. All right, so a couple things you're gonna need is a nice flat board. I got a 4x4 my father-in-law had. I have a level that I screwed to it so I don't have to constantly keep laying it back on there and checking it. I drilled a hole going down, and then I have a long 3/8 extension, a broken one, that I just jammed into the ground. So this thing is probably 2 feet long. And then over here, what I did is I drilled a pilot hole, and then I threaded in an eyelet, so that way it bites and I could pull, and I put it more towards the top. So as I pull it, it would angle the board down to grab the dirt. And then I used a chain that I had, all right, with one of those lock-ins. I use a chain because I want to burn extra weight. Anyways, so now what I was doing is I was grabbing the chain and I would scrape all the land, right? Now, what you want to do, you want to start with that if you have dirt. I had a buddy come with a tractor to dig out because my land was sloped. You don't have to do that. I could have probably just did it on top of grass and added stuff. Not a huge deal, but as I spun it around a good, 10, 20 times, all right, you're gonna see where it's gonna scratch high spots, okay? That's the only thing that is good for, is finding you where your high spots are at, all right? This is after I've tampered and did a bunch of the work. So then what I did is, after figuring out that if I fill in low spots by throwing dirt on it, and then I drag the board across, all the board does is scrape it back out. I just undid everything that I did. So the only way to keep it from doing that is you have to have an edge for it to ride on, okay? So you can either line boards all the way around, or use a board there and just go back and forth on that section. I tried to use plastic tubing, decided that was too tedious to stake down, all right? So what I ended up doing was I laid the board over here, put the board there. Now look where my level's at right here, all right? The bubble looks like it's off, but when I lay my iPhone down there to show the degrees, it's 0 degrees. So I think I nailed it. So I pick up the board now, walk it around. I'm not letting it drag because I'm gonna undo everything I did. I'm gonna lay it on this board, check the level. Okay, that's my level. So now what I'm gonna do is, now I'm gonna fill in the gaps underneath. Actually, the sun is going this way. Okay, you see the gaps? that's where I'm gonna throw dirt down and I'm gonna tamp it up to that level. I'm not gonna drag anymore. I'm gonna bring the dirt up by throwing dirt and tamping. If I just throw dirt and then try to spin around, all I do is scrape all the dirt back out of there. So I was really working against myself. So what I did was I broke it up into a clock. 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I started there. You can start there yourself. So I started here. There's my level at 12 o'clock. Pick it up, move it around. Drop in there. Okay, let me zoom out. Here's my level at 9 o'clock. Okay, right in there, I don't know if you can see. All right, pick it up again. Don't let it drag anything. Going to 6 o'clock. Okay. Bubbles more towards one side, but when I lay my iPhone on there, it shows 0 degrees. I might still scrape it down some because I'm a perfectionist. Okay. And yep, chain is heavy. Rope, I couldn't imagine doing this with rope. Getting rope burn, pulling itty bitty rope, so I use chain. And then here is, 3 o'clock? Right there, all right? So now that I did 12, 9, 6, and 3, and those are level, now you shift it and do eighths instead of quarters. So now that I was there, I'm gonna pick it up, and I'm gonna go to roughly between 1 and 2, right? Check my level, boom, level, okay? And then again, I can look and see any spots that might be filled in. So what I'm gonna do is grab the dirt, dump it down, and tap it to there. Just keep checking the level, because every time I spin it around and scrape it, it just it undoes everything I just did. So you can see here the high spot where the board's rubbing. So I might take this down a little bit, but as long as you got, you know, a level board, a level, you can check the level. All right, you're not gonna, the only way to use the board to scrape the level is if you had something for the board to ride on. That way it stays the same level. But if the weight of the board is in the dirt, all it's gonna do is scrape up everything I put down, all right? So I don't know how much more I can put in this. It would be nice if I had a nice big edge to roll the board on, because then I can just dump a bunch of stuff down and keep spinning and then tamp and spin. Might be a lot of work, might be worth it, I'm not sure. But I just hope this helps, you know, explain what not to do, right? Don't just throw dirt down, spin in a circle thinking it's gonna level itself out. No, because over here, depending on how far you go down in your dirt, even the grass itself, my buddy with a tractor was chunking the grass. Oh man, it is so hard. You can't just scrape the grass. You can't just drag stuff and hope that the grass comes up. This stuff here is so hard that you can see my scrape marks of my pronged. I kept going back and forth trying to loosen it up. You know, if you dig with a shovel, you end up going too far deep, or too deep. But yeah, I hope this helps. I got angry after I watched all the other YouTube videos of these guys showing themselves spinning circles, and then they're like, yep, that's it, that's level. Like, that is not how this works. So good luck, hope your pool works out. Take care.